and welcome to the new iShare workflow. In this video, I will give you a quick introduction to the most important things you need to know to get started. The goal is not for you to learn everything at once, but to give you a good overview of where things are, how to find your way around, and what is useful to know when you start using the new iShare workflow. So, let's start at the very beginning with logging in. When you open iShare Workflow, you start on a new login page. Here, you sign in using your company's preferred login method. The first time you log in, you'll be greeted by a short onboarding. It gives you a quick introduction to the new structure and helps you get started before you explore further on your own. iShare Workflow is divided into workspaces. Home is your personal starting point, and documents is where you work with invoices, expenses, reminders, and other document types. Setup is the area for settings and administration, and in a web shop, you can make purchases, create requisitions, or continue to external web shops. At the top left corner, you'll find your company selector. This shows you which company you're working in and lets you switch companies if you have access to more than one. Your choice here affects which documents, settings, and setup you work with. The first thing you see after signing in is your homepage. This is your personal starting point in iShare Workflow, giving you a quick overview of what is relevant for you. You can adapt home with different layouts and widgets, so it fits the way you work. You may want several widgets with KPIs, document overviews, and follow-ups, or a simple layout for a quick overview. In the top corner, you'll find your user profile. Here, you can view and update information about yourself, upload a profile picture, and find settings that apply to your user. And yes, you can also choose between light mode and dark mode. EyeDa is your AI assistant in iShare Workflow. You will find her in the panel together with your messages and system notifications. Here you can ask questions about anything you're wondering about, get help understanding a feature, or understanding why an invoice stopped in the process. Start a new chat using the plus sign, or find your way back to previous conversations. Let's move over to the workspace you probably use the most, documents. This is where you work with your documents such as invoices, general ledger documents, expenses, contracts, and other document types, depending on what your company uses in your solution. On the left-hand side, you'll find a navigation for the document area. Here, you can choose document types, and you will find both your personal document list and status lists. The personal list helps you find documents that are relevant for you, such as invoices waiting for your approval or that you have previously approved. The status list gives you an overview of documents in different steps of the approval process, such as invoices waiting for approval, that has been approved, or that has been transferred. In the document list, you can choose how you want to work. You can choose the table view if you want to see a lot of information at once, or a simpler view if you prefer a cleaner and more visual overview. To find a specific document, you can use the free text search or the filter builder to narrow down your results. If there are filter fields that you use often, you can mark them with a star, so they will be there every time you open the filter builder. You can also save your filters that you use often, so you do not have to set up the same choices every time you need to find a specific type of document. And if you're looking for a specific invoice or document, it is often a good idea to start in the old document list. When you open a document, like an invoice, you enter the new document view. Here, the information is divided into panels. This is a new way to navigate within the document, and it makes it easier to open exactly the information you need. If you want to open details, lines, attachments, approvers, messages, or the log panel, you can have several panels open at the same time, or work more focused with only one panel at a time. The document actions are grouped based on what they are related to. This means that actions related to the workflow or processing or the export are gathered. For many, one of the most important panels is the lines panel. Here, invoice lines, order lines, and coding are gathered into one place. This makes it easier to see the connection between what has been ordered, what has been invoiced, and how it is coded. The line panel has two views. Card view gives you a simpler and clearer overview, which can be especially useful if you mainly need to check or approve. Table view is better when you need to work more actively with the lines. You have also made it easier to see which lines belong together, like the connection between invoice lines and order lines. In addition, there has been improvements to how you work with auto-coded lines. So, in short, the document workspace is where you go to find, filter, open, and process your invoices and other documents. Finally, let's take a quick look at setup. Setup is the area for those who work with configuration and administration in iShare Workflow. Here, you'll find users, companies, rules, templates, master data, settings, and all the other setup types. Rule setup can quickly become a bit complex, especially when several conditions need to be combined. This is why you now get a more visual way to read and build logic. It makes it easier to see how the conditions are connected, especially when you use and/or logic. The goal is to make it easier to understand how the rule is put together and easier to check and adjust the criteria when needed. You do not need to learn everything about setup at once, but it's useful to know that this is where you go when something needs to be configured, adjusted, or administrated. That was a quick introduction to new iShare Workflow. We hope this gave you a good start and that it will get easier to use in your everyday work, whether you're at the office, working from home, or on the go with your phone.